There we go. So we are now live on YouTube. Everybody, today William is going to be presenting to you, and we're going to be covering an overview of KV Core and also an overview of leads to ROI. Pay super close attention. There's some really cool little tips and tricks he's going to go over in both platforms and both systems. So without further ado, William, go ahead and take it away.
All right. Thank you, everybody. So today we're going over KV Core and also leads to ROI. And we are going to show kind of what each platform has. We're going to do a basic overview of each one so you guys can know your systems. Okay. And so both platforms here are great. I can tell you from personal experience, we've used KV Core for years. And I'd like to consider our agency actually an expert in KV Core. And we've used KV Core for hundreds of clients, probably thousands actually, if I actually were to round it up. And leads to ROI is our newest system, as a lot of you guys know here. Some of you might not, but leads to ROI is our CRM and software. And it has a lot of the same functionalities and amazing automations in it as well. And we've integrated a lot of different softwares with our CRM for lead generation and marketing and things like that. So let's dive on in. We're going to start out with KV Core. Oh, wrong one. All right, everybody. So right here, we've got a dashboard. Now, first off, if I can get a yes, so I can see how many users here that are online currently, how many people are currently using your KV Core system? Just give me a Y or a thumbs up or whatever's easiest. I see one person's driving, so you don't have to. If you're driving, that's okay. I see the thumbs up. Cool. Okay. Great. All right, perfect. So we've definitely got some yeses here. So number one, I want to suggest to everybody, make sure that you have the mobile app downloaded on your phone. And if you don't be frustrated, just download that app right now and make sure that you have your push notifications setting turned on. Okay. Another setting that is great to make sure that you have is the behavioral automations. Okay. Now, what are behavioral automations? Those are settings in the system that make sure that when, I'll go through a few of the different functionalities. One is if somebody visits your website at least 3 times or 5 times, or if they visited your website and then they visit again 2 months later down the road. There are behavioral automations that automatically will sync and send out text messages or emails and give you push notifications letting you know that that person has done that. So those are definitely very important things. If you haven't changed those, don't worry about it. They're already set up in your account. But if like maybe you paid somebody to set up your KV Core or things like that, maybe just do a double check to make sure that those settings are turned on. That way, you know, if you have the automated save search alerts and things like that set up, you know that when people are searching on the website or things like that, that they're going to be texted a month down the road, 2 months down the road, or things like that. Okay. Now, this is your main dashboard, and KV Core has done a great job with the dashboard and its functionality. So number one, we've got your summary up here at the top, and it shows your calls and tasks. Okay. If you're not utilizing that, go ahead and add tasks for yourself to remind you to call these people. Okay. And if you don't have traction on your website yet, there's definitely a ton of ways to be able to do that. Okay. So just to give an example, this is a client of ours that's been with us for a while. And this is all of the website traction in 18 days, right? So just in 18 days, we've got pages and pages and pages here of people searching on the website. So the automated saved search alerts are very powerful. And you can see here in the functionality that we've got people searching for a home, number one. Number two, they've actually liked this home. So that is then saved to their specific profile. So when they go to your website and they actually sign up and they submit their information, whether it's by email or phone number, or they click to go through and log in through Google or Facebook, they're automatically going to have a profile created here in your KV Core system. Okay, so let's take a look at Marie Lopez. Marie Lopez is a client in here, and she's liked almost 8-9 homes in here, right? And so you can see that she has actively viewed those listings, number one. Number two, you can see the little mobile icon here, right? So we've got a mobile icon. That means they're searching on their phone, okay? Little fun fact, I mean, it's heavily people are mobile users. I mean, by a landslide. Most everybody is searching on their phones. There are some people that absolutely are still searching on their computers, but overall, when people are browsing for things, we're in the technology age, everybody's on their cell phones. So let's jump into Marie's account, okay? So in here, you can see that you've got her phone number, her email. We don't have an address because this is a buyer. And here are the hashtags for this lead. So you can see that, okay, this is the tag where the lead came in from. This is what we for our users. Number two, it shows the beds, the baths, and the price range that lead is looking for. And so that right there is actually what triggers the automated saved search alerts and sends them this list of properties. So one thing to look at, let's figure out when this lead actually came in. Here we go. So Marie first signed up on 11/03 of 2020. Okay. And, you know, a few trainings ago, we just showed Manny's account as well. This is a client of ours. He's okay with us sharing this in our presentations. I think we had a completely different lead that we just randomly clicked on that was at the top. And they also were from a year or 2 years ago. So this is the power of saved search alerts, okay? The whole goal is that that person that submitted their information on week 2, when they're finally ready to start searching again, you know, people go through phases in their life. And when they're finally ready to search again, you don't want them to be searching on Zillow. That is it. You want them searching on your website and your website only. And if they do that and they see a Facebook ad, they see text messages, they get emails, they see your YouTube videos or whatever that is, you are the realtor in their mind that they think of. So even 6 months down the road, when it's time to think of a real estate agent, well, I don't know anybody, but guess what? This is the person that I saw. This is the person I see everywhere. And this is probably who I should reach out to because they're the known real estate agent in the market, right? So let's take a look at all of the activity logs in here, okay? So you're not going to have them look at every single saved search alert. Some people do. I mean, I'm actually blown away at how many saved search alert emails Marie Lopez is looking at. You see this? So she's literally opening up every single email. So the way that we like to set up the saved search alerts is so that it sends out twice a week. Okay. Now there is a daily feature. You can choose to do that, but statistically, from what I saw with our client base, if you do it daily, you're going to have a lot of people unsubscribe. Okay. So twice a week means that it's still in their inbox. It's enough that they're going to see it consistently, but it's not too much. So you can also see right here the actual open rates and the time frames that the people open those search alerts at. So you can get a feel. Now, something I'd like for you guys to think about here. If you know that this is the time frame that that person is searching, when do you think might be a good time to call this person? Probably right when they're searching, right?
Absolutely.
So you know that
Especially if you can go down that list and see consistency on that list of when they're searching. So I mean, that was like 2:38. So this is 3 o'clock. Okay, now we've got in the evening, 1
So look,
o'clock.
we've got at night, and then we've got her lunch break, and then we've got in the morning before work. 4:23 a.m. She's an early riser. 7:30, 10:43.
Well, I think these are also taking into account our time zone as well, because we're West Coast and our client is East Coast. So
Yeah.
I would kind of assume that these are 3 hours in the rears, because KV Core does base it off of your local time zone and where you're at. So this is probably actually 8 a.m. when it says 11:08.
So the point is, you can come in here, you can actually do an overview of statistics and look at what your clients are searching at, when they're searching those things, and you can get a feel for what this client wants and what they need. Okay. And so this person has been looking for 2 years. So if it were me, I would reach out to this person as much as I could. And I'd say, hey, you've been searching on my website for 2 years, or let's say a year and a half, actually. And I want to help you so that you're not spending just another year letting time go by. I want to help you so that in another 6 months, you're ready to actually buy that house. I bet you they're going to be really open to that conversation, right? So go ahead, make sure you're doing overviews. This is a really great way to look at all of this. And we could go through here and go to client after client and show the statistics, and you can really get a feel. Now, some of this is going to take time, but you might be able to really dig some good clients out of that, right? And it's about your approach. It's about how you message them, how you reach out. So think about those things. Right here, we can see that this week, there were 6 property views. In total, she's viewed almost 300 properties. So really, really active, okay? And I would want to be figuring out how I could help this person to find a home. Now, let's move into the safe search alerts and just go real quickly on that. The other side to that coin is, after you establish contact, you want to personalize these safe search alerts for that person, right? So the way that we set it up is we mainly like to set it up so that it sends out listings in one county. Okay. There are some people in here where you might need to do multiple counties because you're right on the border of a few, or maybe you work all of those and they're smaller. But if you can grab just one county, it'll send out not too many listings so that it's overbearing and they have to sort through 1,200 listings, right? You don't want that. You want them to have a personalized list of properties. So in here, after you speak with somebody, you want to find out more of those specifics for what is the city then at that point. It starts out with the county. Now, hey, what city or cities do you want? And have you been pre-approved? What's your minimum? What's your max? And go through and personalize and tailor this setup for them. Okay. So focus on your saved search alerts. You can see here that you can upload files for each user. You can actually check transactions. You can create tasks for yourself. If you're not utilizing the task feature, you probably should be. Remind yourself, hey, I need to call this person. We all know we're all busy, right? Every single one of us here is busy and probably does 50 tasks in a single day, right? Every single day, that's what it is. So if you can remind yourself to do a task when you're not busy, why not, right? It's only going to help you. So utilize your task features, go through, be able to check out profiles for each user that's searching in your account. Okay, so this is the dashboard overview. Also, you can see right here at the base of each contact, you can email, you can call, you can send video, and you can send text. So for Marie Lopez, that might be a really great one with how active she is to send a personalized video to her, right? Do a quick one-on-one that's a minute long, talking about that, saying, instead of just sending a text message, say, hey, you've been searching for almost 2 years on my site. I want to help you. Okay, let me help you in your buying process. I would love that if I was somebody that has been dedicated to finding a home and working hard at it. Okay, so in here, under the activity section, we can actually go through and organize all of these things. So we can go property views. Okay, so we just see the people that are searching for properties. And let me actually make this a little bigger so you guys can see. I know I've got my screen zoomed out a little bit. The next one, we have any questions. So if people ask questions about a specific property, right? And this is actually very common for people who are active on searching on websites. I'll see this a lot in clients' accounts. So you see your comparative market analysis in here, questions about specific listings. So make sure that you're staying up to date on questions. We've got showing requests. Here's people that actually wanted to go in and see a home. So find out if they're pre-approved and they're ready to see that home. Home valuations. This one I see all the time, okay? And if you're not utilizing the home valuation feature on your website, it's your website URL /sell.php. You can also get there by just going to your website and clicking the sell button and send that link to anybody you want. Okay, that's going to automatically create them as a contact in your system. It's going to give them a full comparative market analysis right then and there. They don't get one sent to their email. It's right when they type it in, they see everything. And it's actually a great little presentation that they've created for them. So really great feature with valuations. You can see your new leads, new texts, new emails. You can see hot leads, people that are really messaging a lot and super active, and new listings and email events. Okay, so those are the main features in here on the dashboard. There's also KV Core training and playbooks. I have to say the one thing I'm not too versed in is playbooks. This is more of a new thing that KV Core has created. I know you can do things with your listings. Looks like we've got stuff here with gathering your sphere and working your sphere. So definitely look into the playbooks and learn about what those are. Okay, KV Core is constantly trying to add tools and things just like we are. The smart CRM. Okay, this is just like our system in the sense that you have smart lists. Okay, you're able to go in and create those smart lists. You're able to filter leads. You can come in here under filters and you can actually do it based off of contact details. You can just look at all the buyers or sellers or renters. You can go based off of hashtags. So if you're using hashtags in the system and we have hashtags going for you, there's no reason why you couldn't come in here and select 3/2.
Manny's are a little bit different. Remember, he was set before we changed. Yep.
That's right. Thank you, Brian.
Manny's was our 1.0 on this.
Yes, it does. He actually wanted to keep them that way. I've tried to get him to change it. He wanted it his way, and that is okay. So in the system, you've got 6 months worth of leads. You can come in here and you can select the hashtags and filter out all of those leads. Let's say you just got a new listing that is a 3-bed, 2-bath between $200,000 and $250,000. You can now select that hashtag and filter out all of the results in the system And now I've got
a lot.
714 contacts.
So you guys, this is over a 3-year period where we've been running ads for this particular gentleman. But yeah, after 3 years, he has close to almost 1,000 people that are in that list of just 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 200 to 250,000. That's awesome.
Yeah. So that is quite a powerful list that I can now send out a mass email or a mass text to. That's 700 people that are going to see your new listing. And you can do a few things with that. Number one, you can try to close that deal yourself with your inner sphere and all of your leads, but you can also use that to generate listings, right? When you're trying to close down that contract with somebody, you can say, hey, I have 760 people in my system that are all buyers within the last 2 years that are interested in a 3-bed, 2-bath between 200 and 250,000. That's powerful. That's huge. And that's definitely going to be something that I would be interested in if I was listing them, right? So use your systems to your advantage to help yourself with closing your deals. Use your smart CRM. It's very powerful. You can create your own smart lists just like we have in our system. Okay. So we can create smart lists in our system. We can organize, we can filter our leads. KV Core has the same feature. If you're using KV Core, not our system, make sure you're using that. Make sure you're organizing your leads so that when you sit down to go make your dials for the day and call your leads, you're selecting all of your specific lead sources in one, and you go one by one and call all of those leads, okay? The next section I want to show is listings, okay? So here in the listing section, we have my listing specifically. So this is going to show your own personal listings. And then we have company listings. Now, for the people that are using our system or listings to leads and pairing it with KV Core, this is a great section. And we've shown this a couple of times. I'm just going to go over this super quick. You can hover over your company listings and you can actually come in here. You can add in a filter and type in a city. Let's say I just want to show Orlando homes. And now you can apply that filter. And now, since these are all your brokerage's listings at EXP, you can pull any one of these listings to advertise. Okay. So great little feature. Now you can use any one of these listings that you like on here to advertise through listings to leads. Great little quick feature. Under the marketing section, a lot of different tools in here. The smart campaigns is going to be where the text and email campaigns are. You can add in a call feature. It can be a little tricky to understand, but KV Core actually just a few months ago, I'd say, made it so that people can share campaigns now. Okay. So that was a great job. I'm glad they finally got around to it. That was something they really needed instead of having to make people manually build out the campaigns again if they got it from somebody else. You can literally just share a sharing token and you get that campaign in your system. So that's great. Make sure that the campaign is personalized to you. You have to first add in templates if you're building your own campaign. And then after you build all the templates, you go back into My Campaigns, and then you have to add those templates into the campaign with the time frames and everything. So it can
actually go back to templates really fast, William.
Yeah.
One thing I did want to share on this is when you click the add template button on the right side, this is going to show all the different types of templates that you can create. So you can either create email, text, task templates for yourself to do specific tasks, depending on which stage that lead is within, call templates so that it can call that lead out for you, give you a little bit of information beforehand, or if you want to connect to a third-party software or a system, you can use a webhook to do that. So one of the, I haven't done a training in KV Core in a long time. because we've been focusing on leads to ROI. But one of the things that I'm going to be training on in KV Core soon is how to connect that webhook out to third-party systems like a mailbox power, so you can send a direct mail to that individual at a certain stage of a campaign. Now, that's going to fire off no matter what with that particular lead. And a lot of our agents we have found prefer to kind of pick and choose who they send those mailings to, because there is a much higher cost in sending the mailers out. And so that is one thing that you wouldn't be able to pick and choose who got those mailers, but we can help you guys set that up or teach you how to set that up if that's something that you wanted to do on your own with Mailbox Power, if you were willing to send that out to every single one of a certain subset of leads. So some really cool things that we can do in there. I'll let you go ahead and take it back. You're on a roll, Willie. You're doing great. So I just wanted to share that really fast.
No, love the webhooks. Webhooks are a powerful thing in any system. And it seems like voodoo magic to a lot of people, but really it's just like Zapier, where you're pulling data from one point and spitting it out at another. So, and with that, you can makes it so you can automate anything and do a lot of cool stuff on the internet. So great campaign section. I do wish that KV Core upgraded their library. I guess now they have 27. So they've added more since we looked last. Before, I think for the first 3 years, they only had like 10 campaigns or something you could choose from. But a lot more now there for you to be able to pick and choose from. And let's jump back into marketing. A few different features here. So Core Concierge, and excuse me, guys. Core Concierge is where real humans follow up with your leads. I've gotten mixed signals about that. We've had some clients try it in the past, and it actually seems a little interesting. I think it's mainly just texting. So it's not actually people calling the leads. So you guys are aware. I had a couple clients that signed up for it because they thought it was a great cost for having somebody call your leads. It's just them texting. So it's basically like an AI bot almost that tries to spark up that conversation and then give you the lead. So
when we've seen these in the past, also for our clients that have signed up and used them, it is basically just a text campaign that they put in place, where they have a team of live bodies in a room. And when there's a response, then an actual human picks up the conversation and tries to move the needle on it. So it's not as effective or powerful as actually calling that lead. I believe it's what, $250 per 100 leads or so. Click learn more. I think it'll give us the pricing breakdown.
I don't think it actually tells you. Oh, 350.
So 350 for 50 contacts. So if you're an agent that's using one of our marketing systems or one of our platforms, you guys know that we generate a heck of a lot more than 50 leads in a month, especially from the marketing that we do. So only a portion of your leads would be eligible for that platform unless you wanted to pay more money and grow into it. But yeah, it's primarily texting, as you can see here, and they're just going to push the needle forward with that conversation. If you guys have the app on your phone, you're going to get the notification when they respond to you. So it's just as easy for you to send a text message back and respond to that lead as it is to have a concierge team do it for you. And it's a hell of a lot more cost effective.
Also, to give a little perspective, you generate 100 leads in the month. That's $700 right there to have KV Core have somebody texting them. Ours, $500 a month. We have an ISA calling and actually booking that appointment onto your calendar, or doing live transfers is our first goal. So live transfer right there. Core Concierge, that is what that overview is. We've already gone over search alerts, the hashtags and everything we've shown in previous setups. KV Core Present. Okay, so I learned a little bit about this platform or this section, and this is something that is very unique and I like. Okay, KV Core did a really cool job on this, and basically, this is a way for you to build a full presentation for your buyer or seller or whatever options they have here. So they've added in a couple more. So you can create one for sellers, you can create one for buyers, you can create a general presentation and a buyer tour. Okay, so there's a lot of really cool functionalities that they've built in this. I won't be able to go into it too much because you have to actually build one out, and I'm not going to do that in Miami's account. I'm not going to do that in somebody else's account, but I would definitely urge you to take a look at it if you guys are using KV Core. It's a pretty cool feature. Figure out what you can do with that, and that might help you with your CMAs and closing down a listing, or helping a buyer and giving them a cool presentation to go over. Okay. Now, in the system, core voicemail drop. They do charge you for this. Okay, so let's look. 150 voicemails per month is $20. 250 a month is 30. 500 voicemails is $50. So there is the feature there. I think statistically about 60 to 70%, I think is what I heard, actually work. And that's coming from multiple KV Core agents that have tried it in the past. To give a little reference, leads to ROI, we actually have this feature for free in our system. So you can go into your workflow builder and you can build this out anytime you want and just load the voicemail drop in the system, and you can send them out to however many you want. So
there are usage fees that are involved with it, but it's a much lower cost than what you see with KV Core.
Yeah, ours are just usage fees for the actual sending the message. They're low cost. I think for having a smart number with KV Core, it used to be $25. I don't know what it is anymore.
And you guys, who on this call knows the importance of having a smart number in your KV Core? Has anybody ever covered or looked into the smart number features with KV Core and why you should have it if you're an agent with EXP or a brokerage that offers that out?
If you don't use a smart number,
go ahead.
Then if you don't use a smart number and your client calls in on a different phone number, it won't be routed to you, it'll be routed to whoever.
Yep. So essentially the way that it works is whoever the first agent was that captures that information. So let's say Sue and Merlene are in the same market. Sue gets a lead. A month later, Merlene gets a lead, and Merlene's marketing is what caught their attention. And they're actually calling back based off of a text message they received from Merlene. If Merlene does not have a smart number, that lead is automatically going to be routed to Sue because she was the first agent to obtain that lead in the platform. So not having a smart number could substantially cost you a good amount of business throughout the course of a year, especially if you and another agent are targeting very similar audiences on Facebook, or you guys are both targeting through Zillow or something along those lines. You could essentially have a lot of your deals end up going to another agent because you had good follow-up, but you didn't have that smart number in KV Core.
Does it have to be a KV Core smart number, or can it be like a Google Voice number, just any other dedicated number? Or
it has to be the paid smart number, and it looks like they've increased their price by $2 a month, so it's $27 a month for that smart number. And if you don't have the paid for smart number with KV Core, your lead may be calling the agent that previously captured them. So
definitely very, very important. If you don't have that smart number, 100% I would suggest getting it. You have to.
If KV Core is your primary CRM, yes.
KV Core is your primary, you definitely want to make sure you get that. So that is the main setup that I want to go over. The KV Core has their own landing pages, their IDX squeeze pages. They're pretty basic. It's made so that you can literally just click a button and duplicate. That's pretty much what it is. It is integrated with your IDX. so that you can showcase listings and people can download a list of homes or things like that. But the functionality, they just wanted to have those few specific things available for people to choose from. So if you have
one thing, if I could interject really fast, Willie, one thing I would use these IDX squeeze pages for, and a good example is that Marie client that William was looking at earlier. That person's been on the site looking for over a year now at properties. And we have a really good gauge just from what we saw of that particular lead as to what they're looking for in a home. So if you notice that there's a particular market that they're continuously searching in, it may be extremely advantageous for you to go in, click on the start building button for the IDX squeeze page. So William, if you could just select that domain and start building, we could then go in and we could do our price range of, she was looking what, from 250 to 300,000. So we could go in and we could do a price range from 250 to 300,000 or 200,000 to 300,000. And then we could go ahead and we could then select the location that she's primarily looking in, right? So we could just say Orlando, for example, here. And then what you can do is go ahead and select the minimum beds, the minimum baths that she's looking for, which was 3 and 2. And then you can actually use this as a message that you would want to send out to this particular person. So you can then, what I would say is for the Facebook cover photo, this is also going to be whatever the image comes through on your guys' text messaging, because it's going to pull some SEO data. So if you use recent listings from your agency, this is going to be just your guys' agency's listings that you can use for this. But he can go ahead and click on this. And then what we can do is we can actually go ahead and generate a link just below, and this isn't going to affect anything for Manny. We can go ahead and generate a link, and then you can formulate a text message that says, hey, Marie, I saw that you've been looking at 3-bedroom, 2-bath homes between 200 and 250,000. I wanted to get you a list of all the homes in the marketplace that really fit your criteria and what you're looking for. Go ahead and click this link, right? And it's a super simple text, but it's customized to that person. And they're going to say, oh, hey, that's really cool. And it may spark up, oh, thanks. This is exactly what I'm looking for. I'm actually looking for something with a fenced-in backyard. I noticed that a lot of these don't have that. It could definitely spark up some conversations so that you can ultimately win that particular lead. Because unless Manny is talking to this person at this point in time, this is still a warm lead that's in his database that needs to be nurtured to then go and show houses to. And this is really a testament to how long buyers will search prior to making the decision to go and purchase a house. A year on the market, or a year in the database, and a year searching for consistently the same type of properties. I'm sure that what she was looking at a year ago, she's looking at much smaller homes now in that price range because of the way the market has shifted. And I know in my market currently, we have had a 25% value increase over just this last year. That's huge. I mean, when you look at that on a $400,000 home, that's what, $100K if we're looking at 25%. That's a huge increase in property value, and that's happening all around the nation. So this would be a great way to go ahead and showcase some of those listings to an existing buyer that's in your database currently searching for homes.
Definitely. And so let's jump back in and finish off KV Core here. The last thing I want to say is, how many of you guys think statistically that Marie Lopez, that has been searching for the last year and a half on Manny's website, what statistically do you think that she is going to choose Manny as a realtor? Give me a yes or a no.
For sure.
Right? Probably a high probability. After spending a year and a half searching on somebody's website and seeing his face that many times. I mean, literally searching, I think it's at 129 listings over the course of a year and a half. That person is set on using Manny and will not want to use anybody else, because at that point they feel comfortable where they're searching. They feel comfortable that maybe Manny hasn't bombarded her, right? So anyways, that's where I'm going to leave off on KV Core, and let's do a little dive on leads to ROI. Okay, so this is our system, leads to ROI, and let's jump into the ISA account. So let's go over a few of the functionalities that are similar to KV Core, right? We've got voicemail drops. That's a feature KV Core has, and we do as well. Our system originally had campaigns and triggers. Now we have a workflow builder. Okay, so here in the workflow builder, essentially we've combined campaigns and triggers into one. Now I'm gonna just zoom over most of this stuff because we don't need to dive in too deep. We've got 20 minutes left. So I just want to show some of the basic features. In here, we have a large funnel builder. Okay, so this is just like ClickFunnels. If any of you guys don't know who Russell Brunson is, he's at least worth taking a look at. Changed the entire industry with his ClickFunnels system. Okay, absolutely a powerful system, great for e-commerce products and things like that. Marketing guru, and he built an awesome thing for lead generation and a lot of people. So in here we have basically a spinning image of ClickFunnels. Now we also have
You guys can even import those ClickFunnels. So if you already have ClickFunnels out there in another account, in a ClickFunnels account, you can actually import them just by using the URL, and it will spit out. May have to make a couple of fine-tune adjustments, but it will spit out that
Funnel.
particular funnel on the site. Pretty awesome.
It's absolutely powerful. So we all know that some of you guys might not know, but Russell Brunson actually coaches and says you should do funnel hacking. Like, funnel hack me, do it. I want you guys to take my funnels and personalize them for yourselves. So this program, our funnel builder, you can do that. You can go in and you can create a funnel and just paste in the ClickFunnels URL. So if you find somebody's funnel online that is amazing for real estate that you guys love, and you want to make one for yourself, all you have to do is copy and paste, and you can now just edit your video, edit the picture, and edit the words that are on the funnel, and you've got your own $10,000 funnel you just got for free, right? So really great funnel builder. We also have websites in here. We have a really awesome membership section, which is continuously growing, and that's going to just keep building into a really great course creation product. So if any of you guys want to be able to build your own courses, or build out a first-time homebuyer program or webinar, or whatever that course is that you guys want to create, go in, create it in the membership section. It's free, doesn't cost you anything. And you've now made your own courses, right? So I don't think KV Core has anything like that, actually.
No, they don't. And one thing that I would recommend in this to you guys, I mean, what William was talking about with first-time home buyer seminars, seller seminars, all of those kinds of things, it's important that you guys build those kinds of things out for your marketing materials. And if you're working with new buyers, you can simply send them a link to join your course inside of that membership section, and you can actually track all of the videos that they have watched and the percentages of those videos. So if somebody gets to a certain point, you can go, hey, this person just finished watching my video on first-time home buyers and getting the mortgage, right? So then you can give them a call and start chatting with them about it, see if they have any questions on the process. And it can really, really help you guys build rapport right from the get-go, because you know exactly what they just learned or what they just looked at. Now you have the ability to dive in and start chatting with them about it. So super awesome stuff with that, with those courses. A couple of our agents have also used it for, say, like EXP recruiting. and have uploaded the videos for how the explanation of the EXP model. So there's a lot of different ways that you guys could leverage that membership section to benefit you.
Absolutely. Going under the marketing tab, in here we have a social planner.
Hey, real quick.
Yeah.
Sorry to jump in, Willie. We have a recently new member. Her name is Angela. Angela,
Yeah.
if you can hear me, once you unmute in just the 3 days, how many buyers and sellers have you acquired? Angela?
I think she actually got kicked out, or she lost internet or something. She was on here a minute ago.
She's here.
Yeah,
Not available.
she just texted me. She's got 3 buyers and 1 seller in 3 days.
Bravo.
That's
Love
awesome.
it. Love it. That's what we love to hear right there. Okay. Work the program. Let the IDX catalog and dynamic ad work for you. Let the automated safe search alerts build up your pipeline. Okay. That's the biggest thing that it's about, is building your pipeline. Let leads to ROI work for you. That we built out a listings to leads ad for her. So let's actually dive into that real quick. I'm going to touch on this, the social planner. Okay, this is one of our newest integrations that we just added. This is so you can actually automate and schedule all your posts out on your business page for a week. Now, this is right now, we just have it integrated with Facebook and Google My Business, but I did want to just touch on it. You guys can schedule out your posts in here. And, you know, listings to leads, they have a great social tool, right? They've already got a ton of amazing content that you guys get. You don't need Keeping Current Matters because you get it for free with listings to leads, right? So there's another $60 a month you're saving. But one thing that listings to leads doesn't have is the ability to post on Google My Business. So make sure you're building that Google profile, adding content, growing your reviews with our platform. Right here, you click this little button, this little lightning bolt, and you can send out a review request to anybody in your system. So get an old list of your clients. And if there's anybody who's in here today that is our current client and you haven't used the reputation management tool yet, you need to do it. You need to get a list of all of your old clients and you need to send them a review request to build your Google rankings. Why not have free business from Google, right? Where does everybody search? They search on Google, okay? And so if you search for a real estate agent in your market, you want to make sure that you beat out the person who just started, but guess what? They've been working on their reviews and you've got 10 years of experience over them, okay? So you want to help people find you, do that, use our reputation management system. I'm going to jump into our integrations now. Okay.
Before you do that, can you actually show off reporting really fast? I know I'm a super geek about it, but it's my favorite section. So you guys, reporting is absolutely huge. Whether you're an individual agent or you are a team, one of the best parts of this platform is every single call that you make through this system is recorded and there's reporting for that. So I like to focus on creating a systematic approach to calculating your future income of your business. And of course, that's going to take anywhere from 3 to 6 months worth of consistency in dials and working your system so that you can take a look at past performances and past numbers to identify the key performance indicators that you need to focus on so that you can get and acquire new business. So this call reporting, it's going to show it's going to show the actual number of dials that have been put out. There's agent reporting as well that's going to give you a breakdown on SMSs and emails and things along those lines that are sent. This is our ISA account. We don't send any text messages. We call every single one of our clients, leads that are in this platform. And so, William, if you actually just jump back into call reporting specifically, you can see that this goes from February 27th until March 29th. So about 1 month time span. 8,337 answered phone calls, right? The average call duration is 9 seconds. That's because in a lot of cases, if it's the second or third call, we don't leave voicemails. We leave voicemails on the first. We don't leave them beyond that typically, and we just keep calling that lead. But you can see that we've had a total of 12,672 calls over that last month that we have put in place. So for an agent that's making their own dials, you guys can use this reporting for several different things. Number one, how many dials you're putting in every single day so that you can set goals for yourself. Number two is going to be the average duration of your answered calls. And you can actually use the filters button in the top right corner, and you can filter a ton of different things out. So you can go in, if you click on that filter button, William, let's just see all of the different options that we can choose from. So you can do this based off of specific source, whether the lead was qualified, whether it was the first time that you called that lead. You can actually go in and do it based off of whichever campaign they are in, whether the call was inbound or outbound. You can do it based off of call status, device type. My biggest ones that I actually focus on are going to be call duration. Because if you have a call that goes over 3 minutes, you had enough time on that lead that you could actually push yourself for a conversion. So be 180 seconds. So we put 180 seconds in there and just go ahead and hit update filters. That's then going to show all of the number of calls that were over that time frame, right? So it's going to give you a lot of really good breakdowns on those answers calls, so that you can see how many calls went over that particular time. You can see for those folks, the average duration is 4 minutes and 56 seconds when we're on those calls that are over that 3 minute mark. And so that's extremely important for you guys to be able to go in, take a look at. If you're seeing that you have a lot of calls that are going under 3 minutes, we know that there's something that we can coach on there. There's an initial objection that came out that we weren't able to overcome. And so for any agent, if you guys get stuck and you're not getting over that 3 minutes in your call, you're not getting to the next stage, you're not getting the appointment, you're not getting the tour, you're not getting them over to a lender, that may be something that you go, okay, can you do us a favor, or can you do me a favor? And on one of our support calls, you can go and play a handful of those voice recordings. We can listen in on them, and we can coach you guys on how to overcome those objections, how to push through that conversation and keep them on the phone so that you can then get to the next step in your process. So you're that much closer to working with an active buyer or an active seller, so you can either list or close down a home. So reporting is one of my absolute favorite aspects of our platform, because you can focus on your key performance indicators and continue to grow. Now, of course, you guys are also going to have Google AdWords reporting and Facebook ads reporting that's built into this as well. So if you're running any kind of Facebook ads, you'll be able to see that reporting here. And now we don't run them out of this ISA account. We just use this to make calls on behalf of our clients. But that is that's a pretty good indicator right there, so that you can just jump in, take a look, and see the performance of your ads. So that's it for reporting, but it's my favorite section. I always pay attention to the metrics.
And let's go into listings to leads here. Okay. So listings to leads, for some of you guys who are new here, or this is, your first or third live training with us, we've integrated our system with a platform called Listings to Leads. And Listings to Leads has become a cornerstone for a lot of our agents to really generate high quality leads at an extremely low cost in their business. Okay. And so what is Listings to Leads? It helps you build high converting Facebook ads in about 30 seconds. You can literally build out an entire ad in 5 clicks. Okay. Extremely powerful. And this is by far some of the lowest cost per leads that we've ever ran, the lowest cost per market. And it allows our clients to be able to really get the biggest bang for their buck. Okay. So number one, we have an amazing listing section. And so the listing section, you can come in here and you can take any listing that is yours, number one. And number two, you can take any listing if you're EXP from the company listing section that I showed earlier, right? So you can,
as long as an agent says you can. If you're not using the IDX, you do need to ask permission if it's a one-off listing.
Yes, what I'm saying, if it's your company listings, then you're okay. So obviously it is always common courtesy to ask an agent if it's okay. But you guys that are EXP, you do have the ability to do that with your company listings. So great little feature there. You can pull in any one of those listings, and let's show that real quick under the listings tab. This platform is tied to the MLS, and you are able to click the grab listing button, and all you need to do is put in the MLS listing ID and the zip code and uncheck if it's not your listing. Then you click grab. So that's going to automatically pull in all of that listing information live from the MLS. And all you have to do is click the green button for market listing, and it's going to generate an entire Facebook ad for you. Now, Manny's already got one up, so let me do one down below here so that we can show you what it looks like. All right, here we go. So you'll notice that the status on this listing was sold over the last 30 days. So depending on what the status is, depends on what the ad is actually going to be generated. So in here, we have a just sold ad. Your home's value has been affected by this home being sold. Click below to get your free estimate. And so we've got a sold in Davenport. So it automatically creates the red headline down below on each ad. All you have to do is change the location if you need to. In the first place, you might not even need to, because what it actually does is, okay, this listing is in Davenport, so it automatically puts Davenport as the location. So a lot of the times you might not even need to do that, but you have to keep in mind Facebook goes off of a 15-mile minimum radius for its special ad category for housing. So sometimes you might need to personalize that depending on your market. So that's always something good to look at in Facebook Ads Manager. Next, all you need to do is put in your budget and put in the time frame. Okay, so how much do I want to spend and when do I want this ad to start and stop? Now, the last steps that you need to take are turning on the advanced options button. You click create new form. And this is what we personally suggest every single person do. This allows you to collect more information, number one. Number two, this is how we can actually automate your saved search alerts with KV Core, also from listings to leads. So we can do it from our IDX catalog and dynamic ad that we run, and we can also do it through listings to leads. So clicking these form questions, we want to make sure that you have how many beds and baths would you like in your new home with the predefined options. And number two, what is your desired price range with the predefined options? So no matter what variable that person, that potential lead, that buyer is looking for, it's going to automatically compile that information and trigger the safe search alert in the back end of your system. And so all you have to do is flip that switch, flip this switch, and click create form. That's it. Guess what? We're done with the ad. That's it. So as long as you have everything set up initially during an onboarding, you have 5 easy steps: your budget, your length, turning on the form, and pressing go. I guess that's 4. So there you guys go. I guess you could add in location for the 5th one, which was actually the very first thing. So 5 easy steps right there, guys. To build an ad, I can literally knock one of these out in a minute flat, as long as I have the correct information for what our clients need. And they've got a high converting Facebook ad. All of these leads, we automatically pull into our system. Excuse me, now I'm losing my voice. They're automatically set up on a text and email campaign. They automatically get a buyer call script that's automatically generated for you. Or if you're on our ISA program and we have our ISAs calling those leads are going to go into our ISA account, where we have our team members call each and every lead at least 6 times for the highest conversion rates possible, and book those appointments to your personal calendar so that you guys can do what you need to do, which is showing homes and selling homes. So This is listings to leads. There's so much more that I could go over. There are social media posts. There's an entire social tab, actually, where you can set up all of your organic posts for the entire month. You do it once and it just does it all for you. It's absolutely amazing.
Hey, Willie, can you show the library of branded content? Because a lot of agents often are new and they want to send out emails and text, but they don't already have their content made. Listings to Leads already has that. Can you show it?
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. So what Colin is talking about is the PDF guides. And so real quick, I'm going to show these last few things here. And then we'll show the PDF guides. So you can also share to your seller social media. You've got e-flyers. You've got nearby homeowner letters. One of the last trainings we showed, you can actually take this letter and download it as a PDF and then export it and put it in Mailbox Power. So you can send out your own mailers through Mailbox Power, and we're going to jump into Mailbox Power in a second. I'm going to have Bryan take that actually, because I've got a meeting here in 1 minute. But so this also creates a single property website. It's got virtual tours, open house sign-in forms, postcards and door hangers, and it creates a YouTube listing video that you can generate. So this is all automatically generated content for each listing that you load into the system. So whether it's a listing that you're pulling from somebody else or it's your own personal listing, that's where you can actually send out all of this information to your actual sellers and people like that, you can send it out to your personal sphere and maybe all of your followers on your Facebook pages and things like that. Okay, so make sure you use those tools. And the last section I'm going to show in listings to leads is what Colin was talking about, which is the branded PDF guides. Okay, so there are over 25 buyer and over 25 seller. I think the last time I counted, there's like 55, but I think they keep adding new stuff. I feel like I saw.
They do.
So
Yeah, it's over 80 now.
over 80? Fantastic.
Yep.
Yes. So guys, you got to take advantage of this. This is all custom branded content. And once you onboard with this, it automatically loads in your name, your phone number, your email. It loads in your photo and your logos in the system for each one of these custom branded PDFs. So you can do two things with these PDFs. Number one, you can download this and it's, again, going to be custom branded to you. It shows all of your information over it. Or you can click create ad. So very quickly, you can create an English version or a Spanish version ad. You click the button, it's automatically going to be done for you. So now you can run an ad that shows how to increase your home value the most for the least amount of money. And it's a free guide for local homeowners, right? That's a great little ad. I don't even know if I've seen this one actually, how to increase your home value. I think this one's new. So a lot of great PDF guides that you can choose from. You can either send them out to people that are potential leads in the system. You could create a workflow in our CRM that sends out this PDF to each lead when they submit their information. You could just have it automatically do that, whether they're coming in from this ad or a different ad, right? If they're coming in from this ad, they're already going to be sent this. So you can see down here below, this is the autoresponder, which will automatically send an email to your lead once they submit their information. So they'll automatically get a report and they can click below to download that link. So great PDF guides. Take your time, go through those and determine which ones you want to use for your own personal marketing and go from there. So absolutely an amazing platform. I'm going to let Bryan take over to finish off the last few of the integrations. We've got My Plus Leads and Mailbox Power. And thanks for having me today, guys. Let me know if you guys need anything else and hope you guys have a nice day.
Have a good one, William. Good job today. All right, you guys. So I'm going to pick up right where William left off, and that's going to be with Mailbox Power. I'm just got to get signed in really fast, and then I will share my screen. Okay, so Mailbox Power is our preferred platform that we use for direct mail marketing for our agents. There's a couple of reasons for that. Number one is under the automations tab, we can actually go ahead and we can create specific drips. So we can send out multiple postcards to one individual just by adding them to a campaign. This is extremely powerful, especially when you're trying to target or win listings. So you guys can go ahead and market directly to your for sale by owners. You can market out to recently withdrawn listings or listings that have expired. Now, of course, I do recommend if you are doing an expired listing that you're sending mailers out to, prior to setting them up on that drip, you want to check and make sure that they have not re-signed and that their listing isn't live on the MLS again after the expiration. But a couple of really good low-hanging fruit clients to go after for listing is going to be those FSBOs, those expireds, those canceleds, and those withdrawns. So that way you have an idea, you know, these folks are already looking to sell their home. Now, a couple of really cool things inside of Mailbox Power, they offer this Mailbox Power University. And for everyone on here, I know that a lot of folks that are on this know who Kelly Wheeler is. He is an EXP agent. And Kelly Wheeler has actually gone and done a ton of these courses, teaching agents how to utilize the platform so that you guys can see the best success with this. And you can see that we have building FSBOs just listed and expired listings. So it gives you a pretty good idea for how to target all of those in here and what type of messaging you should send out. And then they also provide you with a handful of real estate templates that are free so that you can use right off the bat. Now they have a ton of additional designs and there is a catalog. So when you go into that particular catalog, you go and go and take a look at your real estates in here. There are going to be some costs associated with some of them. Not all of them are free, but you will get a good idea on, hey, you know, I like this, just sold this particular 5x5 by 8.5 postcard. Let's go ahead and use this particular template so that we can market out to folks in our neighborhood. Now, a couple of things that you can do with this platform that really go hand in hand with listings to leads is I really recommend using these two platforms in unison. All right. So one of the things that William was showing under the listing section was all of the different marketing materials that you can utilize. So one thing that I would do is I would go in and I would pull this particular listing flyer that you have, and you can grab either one of these flyers or you can grab one of the letters, use any of these materials, but you can go ahead and download one of these listing flyers. You can upload it into Mailbox Power. And then when you go to send this out, you can actually select like a 0.5 mile radius of where that home is. And so that way you're sending it out to just the neighbors of that particular listing. So I can tell you guys from experience, when I was a kid, we had a 2-acre lot. Everybody else in our neighborhood had a 1-acre lot. And we had a couple of people that would knock on our door every month, seeing if we were going to sell in the near future because they had children or family members that they wanted to move into our neighborhood. And they loved the fact that we had a 2-acre lot and nobody else did. So that is always a really good way to find a buyer for a listing, is if you go ahead and just market directly to that particular neighborhood. You never know, you might have a set of parents that live in that neighborhood, their children are expecting and their kids want to move closer to mom and dad so that they can, you know, limit some costs on daycare and be close in case they ever need a babysitter, right? So that's a great way to go ahead and market that local audience. You can also go in and pull specific mailing lists, and you can select folks that you want to mail based off of certain demographics or their geography, right? So geography, we'd go ahead and we'd select a zip code or a particular location. We can enter an address and do a radius around. So this is how we'd actually go ahead and select that radius around a particular address. So if I just use mine, for example, West 21st Ave. Okay, let's go ahead and do a search. It's now finds my location. Then I can actually go ahead and I can shrink this down and say, okay, you know what? I just want to do a 1 mile or a 1.5 mile radius around my house and find all of these individuals. Well, we've got 922 total records that have pulled from this. Then we can go ahead and we can break this down a little bit further. So you can do things like, okay, I want to target homeowners only, or I want to target renters. So we can say, okay, let's go ahead and target homeowners. Maybe you want to use this as a move up because it's a single family. You can then target folks that are in multifamily dwelling units. And then this is going to update. There aren't going to be very many in my market because just about everything here is single family. Any of the multifamily are typically going to be rentals. So you can see we've only got 4 that populated there. But we can say, okay, let's just target single family. This is going to update. It's going to be a much larger list. It's just about everything here is. So we'll update your list every step of the way and tell you how many you have and what your options are. You can see it's about $10 per 100. So if you guys go ahead and do the full list, $70 to get 774 people. You can also go in and do this based off of a lot of additional interest of that person or demographics of that particular homeowner. So you guys could break down, say, based off a particular occupational group. You guys could even go in, let's go ahead and use this other tab. I got to scroll down over here so it'll scroll on the other side. For some reason, it's not scrolling over here for me right now. That's not fun. Let's go ahead and jump into the other category. That way we can see all of these, whether we can see them on the list or not. You guys can do this based off of, home purchase price, estimated home value. You can even go down and do this based off of their estimated credit rating. You do it based off of their net worth when they purchased the home, and also their loan to value. There's also personal details that you can go into here. So you can do it based off of age ranges. You guys can also select whether they have children in home. And there's also going to be a section here. I'm trying to find the demographics for it, where you can do it based off of their actual personal income as well, which is really cool. That way you're targeting the ideal person that you want to put your ad in front of, or that postcard directly in front of. A couple of things on this. I'm going to go ahead and open a different screen really fast while I search for this particular slideshow presentation. We did a live training, it's a couple months back now, but it was on some for sale by owner direct mail. And in that live training, we did a breakdown from, this was Brennan Mulrennan. He works very closely with Kelly Wheeler. These were his statistics for sending out FSBO direct mailers. And so there were 590 total FSBOs. He sent out almost 9 postcards to each of them, spent $4,100. 36 people contacted him from those postcards. 24 of those turned into listings, and it was 11,900,000 gross sales volume from that. And if you break that down on 3% for your side of a commission, I believe it was 357K. Yeah, 357K minus the marketing cost, $352,900 in the positive on that. Absolutely awesome. So that's why we push direct mail. The next platform that we've integrated with is MyPlusLeads. And MyPlusLeads is a really awesome tool that you guys can use to go ahead and pull FSBO data, canceled, expired, withdrawn. And so what we have done with these, for anyone that has MyPlusLeads, we do a direct integration with them to their leads to ROI. Your FSBOs, canceled, expireds, withdrawn data is automatically going to go into your leads to ROI account every single day that you have a new listing, FSBO, canceled, or expired. So that just gives you a little bit more power. And then in leads to ROI, we have a drag and drop feature for our pipeline. So when you get a FSBO, if that's somebody that you want to send a direct mail to, you just move them over to the voicemail drop and direct mail campaign, and it will automatically set them up and start sending direct mail from Mailbox Power, and drop some voicemails directly into their inbox or their voicemail on their phone, so that you guys can continue that communication. So that about wraps it up. We have a handful of more platforms that we utilize inside of Leads to ROI outside of just those. But in those particular platforms are going to be things like Home Partners of America. And so this is a system where if you have a buyer that has subpar credit and maybe they don't have the down payment that they need, but they really want to purchase a home, these guys will actually go out, and it depends on the market. You have to be in the right market, but These guys will actually go and purchase a home on behalf of a buyer, put them in a lease to own agreement, and give that buyer a 3-year window to purchase a home. And I believe in Texas, it's a 1-year window for them to purchase that home, but it gives them the opportunity to save a little bit of money and make a decision after they've lived in the house for a certain period of time, whether or not they want to buy. But as an agent, you still collect your commission because Home Partners of America will purchase that house. Kelly Wheeler's used this system a handful of times to win. When he was listing a property, he's had people come through the door, and this is how we found out about it. One of the agents brought in an offer to him on a $299,000 listing for $320,000, and it was a Home Partners of America deal. Kelly got his commission. The buyer's agent got his commission. The renter is essentially in a position that if they like the house and they want to purchase it, they can go ahead and make that purchase. So that is a super cool platform that we recommend agents to utilize. If you guys have a buyer that's in a tough situation and you need to go ahead and push the needle a little bit further. We also have a tab for Remind on here as well, you guys. We use Mortgage Remind, but mortgage.remind.com. This is an awesome platform that we use to help our clients generate lists of homeowners in their marketplaces. So you guys can use Remind. In a lot of MLSs, they actually give it for free. So you guys can utilize Remind to go and target a specific neighborhood or area and pull homeowner data respectively from that. And you can do it based off of particular criteria and things along those lines. And there's other trainings that we've done on this platform where we've broken it down and given you guys just a ton of additional resources on it. And then another thing that you guys can see in here as well is that you also have, let me just actually back this out to the dashboard so I can just showcase this. You guys can actually take this and you can go, okay, let's take a look at some of our previous weekly trainings. We've got a weekly training tab. And see, we've been doing these since 7/30 of 2021. We do 2 of them every single week. You guys can go back through, read a little bit about what that training is, and go ahead and watch that training, and hopefully you gain some information, some knowledge out of that. We also have the Leads to ROI courses, which shows you how to use our platform. And that just about covers it. If you guys want to build ads, you can click on the L2L ad build and go through this form or survey, and we will actually build those ads for you. For any client that's in Leads to ROI that wants those to be built or completed, you guys can go ahead and run through that. And this is us building the ad for you in Listings to Leads. So if you guys have any questions on anything that's been covered today, whether it was KV Core, Leads to ROI, you guys feel free to shoot, let us know. Awesome. Well, you guys, I appreciate everybody jumping on and tuning in today. William did a great job presenting all that stuff. Adriana, I will have Colin reach out to you and chat with you about it so that he can let you know what all the different options are. But you guys, I appreciate everybody jumping on, and we will see everybody on our next training, which is going to be Thursday, 1 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. I'm excited to see you guys all then. Thank you.